to Redmen Football on Next Tech Channel 165 and www.usd237.com. Let's go Redmen. Like to thank our sponsors, everyone who's helped us out here in the past, and we got some new sponsors this week, so we'll be announcing those during the game.
Salina and Gene Bissell Field here on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan University as the Smith Center Redmond gets set to take on the Sacred Heart Knights as the Redmond getting set to go here. Sacred Heart already on their sideline as they await the coin toss. The Redmond in that huddle that they do before the games there at midfield. Redmond in those home white jerseys, red numbers, green trim. The Knights in their home navy jerseys, gold numbers, and the white trim as well. So looks like the Redmond heading over to their sideline now as we'll get the coin toss going here momentarily, Robbie. But once again, beautiful night for some football as the Redmond and the Sacred Heart Knights get set to kick off districts. As we talk about it, we can break the football season down to three sections. You get the regular season, you get districts, and then you get playoffs. This is the start of the second part of that and the most important part. These next three games are the most important to set up where you play in the playoffs.
They really are. So, both teams they start completely over technically here at 0-0. Both teams looking to get off on the right foot, get that first win going into the rest of these district games. And if they can get that win, it helps set up where they can go in the playoffs. As right now it's open to who's going to go into the playoffs, where you're going to be at, if you're going to get home field advantage. I'm sure, looking at it, probably Smith Center out of this district, they're the leading favorites to come out of it in the number one spot, but it's up for grabs right now, so every team has to make sure they bring it from here on out.
All right, so looking at the captains for this ball game for Sacred Heart, it is Landon Power. Also out there, Ethan Buckner, Isaac Motes, and Carlos Torres. For the Redmen, it is Shoemaker, Colton Shoemaker, Trenton Colby, Jaden Atwood, and Joel Montgomery. Again, the Redmen in those road white jerseys, red numbers, green trim. The Knights in their home navy jerseys with the gold numbers and the white trim. There was the coin toss. We await the official call here, who won and what's going to happen. So it looks like Sacred Heart won the toss, and they will receive the opening kickoff. So Sacred Heart going to try to get on the board first here in this ball game, as they will go left to right to start this ball game.
As that's not a bad move for Sacred Heart. Get that offense out there, try to get those guys moving through their motions and get some things going quickly for them. Get on that board early and try to make this Redmond defense have to step up early in this game.
All right, we're going to take a quick break for station identification. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff. Right after this, as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Well, looks like we're ready to go here. Like to thank our sponsors, Matt and Alicia Brown, John and Ellis Sparks, Gerald and Jenna Bouclair, Third Street Design, Catherine McCary.
And welcome back to Salina, Kansas Wesleyan University. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson, Gene Bissell Field, home of the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes, as we are getting set for the opening kickoff. The Redmen will be kicking off to the Knights as they will kick right to left on your radio dial. Looks like Landon Power is back to receive. Also back is going to be Jared McCartney. He's also back to receive this kickoff. Sergio getting set to kick off for the Redmen. Again, they will go right to left on your radio dial, kicking this ball off. Looks like ball is teed up, and we are just about set to go here. And there is the opening kickoff as Sergio boots this one deep. Powers picks it up at the 15. He's up to the 20. Gets a block at the 25, and he's going to be planted right there at about the 25-yard line by a couple different Redmond defenders.
Powers had a nice juke move there to get past one of the Redmond defenders down there quickly. But as soon as he came off that juke, another Redmond right there to plant his helmet right into his chest and drive him right to the ground. So good job there by the Redmond kick team, staying in their lanes, getting down there quickly, and making sure Powers couldn't get anything going.
So Landon Power on the return as the Knights offense comes out. I formation behind Mac Hemmer, the junior quarterback. So it is Power that dots the I. There's a snap. They hand it off to Power right up the middle. He's going to pick up a couple on the play. Nice little gain for Landon Power on first down. See where they mark him down at here. Looks like they mark him at the 28, so gain of 3, second down and 7 for Sacred Heart. 11.5 minutes left to go in this first quarter. 0-0 is our score as Mac Hemmer brings the play back into the Sacred Heart huddle. He's going to send Landon Power to the left. He sends Isaac Motes to the right. As Hemmer will be under center. McCartney is the back. Send a man in motion right to left. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off to McCartney this time. McCartney going to get up to the 30, and it looks like they'll give him the 31.
Good run there by McCartney right up through the middle. Tough run. Got the handoff, hit the line of scrimmage. Got hit instantly, but able to power forward and get a couple yards off of it.
So going to bring up third down for the Sacred Heart Knights. Going to be third down and 4. Buckner goes to the left. Also, now Buckner comes back to the right. They send trips to the left. Looks like Power is out there along with Motes as they hand it off up the middle again. Going to be short of that first down marker. As it was McCartney on the carry once again. Is going to bring up fourth down for Sacred Heart. Ball is going to be at the 33-yard line. So 4th down and 2 for Sacred Heart with 10:15 left to go here in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score. So this is the first drive of the ball game. Gus Campa dropping back to punt this ball away. He's a 6'2", 230-pound junior. Looks like Trenton Colby back deep to receive. High snap. Campa able to haul it in. Nice punt here by the big man as Trenton Colby fair catches it inside the 35, and they're going to spot him down at the 33.
All right idea there by Trenton Colby as that punt was put up there perfectly. Got everybody underneath him. Trenton Colby doing the right thing, just getting his hand up there, fair catching it, and coming down with it where, well, no one could touch him, and they had the little gap there around him, so if it did go through his hands, they're there to cover it. But for Trenton Colby, it was just a perfect catch right where it needed to be.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Smith Center. Ball at their own 33-yard line as Griffin Kugler is going to be split out to the right. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. So it is Atwood, Shoemaker, and Hendrich. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off to Hendrich to start this ball game. He gets up to about the 36-yard line. We'll call it gain of 3. 2nd down and 7. 9:35 and counting left to go in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score. The Redmen go with that hurry-up offense. They send Kugler quickly out to the right. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. Ball at the 36-yard line. There's a snap. They go off the right side with Shoemaker. Shoemaker breaks it to the outside. He's at the 45-50, and he's going to be brought down inside Knights territory all the way down to the Sacred Heart 43. So right back on the ball are the Redmen. 9:10 left to go in the first quarter. Third play of the drive for the Redmen. This time they hand it off to Atwood. He's going to be hit quickly. Great read that time by Sacred Heart as that was going to be Calvin Hemmer on the tackle that time.
Atwood no longer got that ball handed to him, and Hemmer was hitting Atwood's legs and just pulling him right down. So quick read there by Hemmer to get into the backfield, grab Atwood, and make sure that he couldn't go anywhere.
Well, 8:40 and counting left to go in this first quarter. 0-0 is our score as Kugler and House split out to the left. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. 2nd down and long as they hand it off to Atwood off the left side again. Cuts back, lowers his shoulder, dives forward, and he's going to get past the original line of scrimmage up to the 42, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Ball is going to be at the Knight 42-yard line. 8:13 and counting left to go in this first quarter. Broken bone set for the Redmen as Kugler split out far to the right. Atwood in the slot. Shoemaker and Hendrich still in their spots in the Wishbone backfield. They're going to hand it off to Shoemaker. Shoemaker's going to be hit quickly. He's going to gain about a yard, and there is a flag on the play, so we'll see what the flag is all about.
Shoemaker had a hurdle defender in the backfield. As soon as he landed, there was a Knight grabbing him and pulling him right down. So Shoemaker trying to make a little something out of what would have been a loss, probably getting him back to the line of scrimmage.
Looks like they have the ball up to the 41, so he gained a yard, but it is going to be chop block on the Redmond. So we'll see if Sacred Heart, they are going to decline it to bring up 4th down. We'll bring up 4th down for the Redmen. Well, chop block. They are going to accept it, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long. So instead of 4th down and about 8, it's going to be 3rd down and long after the 15-yard penalty on the Redmen. Pushes them all the way back inside their own territory. Ball is going to be spotted at their own 44-yard line. As now, instead of going for it, the Redmen they might not punt this one away. So they are going to line up in their offense as, I guess it is only 3rd down, so why would you punt it on 3rd down?
Well, I was kind of wondering there.
It's been a long day. So 3rd down and long as they run the counter play with Atwood. Atwood off the right side. He's at the 50. He's at the 45. He's got Kugler out in front blocking for him. He's at the 20. Cuts back at the 15. Cuts back again at the 10. He's going to fall inside the 10-yard line. What a great run for Jaden Atwood to pick up the 1st down to make it 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. So it was 3rd and forever for the Redmen. They had the ball all the way back at their own 44-yard line. They move it all the way up to, it looks like the 9-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 9 for the Redmen. They send Kugler out to the right. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. There's the snap. He's going to drop back to pass. He goes to Kugler. Kugler hauls it in, falls in the end zone. Touchdown, Redmond. He had a defender draped all over him. 9-yard pitch and catch. Trenton Colby to Griffin Kugler, and the Redmond on the board first.
Griffin Kugler all of a sudden becoming a juggler out there as he got hit, was bobbing that ball, able to pull it in as he was landing on the ground, kept control over it. So good job there by Kugler, able to make sure that that ball came into his chest like it needed to as he hit the ground. Big play there by Griffin Kugler. We talked about his athletic ability outside, and he showed it there.
So Kugler on the board first with another touchdown after his 3 touchdowns catches last week. He gets on the board first for the Redmond this week, and the Redmond now lead it 6-0, 7:19 left to go here in the first quarter as Sergio Lambert comes out to kick the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So with 7:19 left to go in the first quarter, the Redmen strike first. A 9-yard pass, Trenton Colby to Griffin Kugler makes it 7-0, Redmond on top. We'll be back with more first quarter action right after this as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Great job with the Redmen there, getting out there right at the 7:19 mark. Some of our sponsors are Gary and Brenda Freeling, Mike Hintz, Neil and Karen Herndon, Mitch and Tammy Holtis, Donna Dunce, the Holtis boys, LD, Mike, Mitch and Lyle, Larry and Barbara Wilson, Charlotte Long, Dennis and Pam Hutchison, Ken and Diane Depperschmidt, John Overmiller, Kim and Burke Phelps, State Line Properties, Sean Phelps, Tim and Paul Pullens, 3rd Street Design, Kathy Carey. If you'd like to help us out, contributing money.
Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. Nice drive there by the Redmen as they were back deep in their own territory on that 3rd down, and then a big run by Jaden Atwood, and then the scoring pass from Colby to Kugler, Robbie.
It was a big counterplay there for the Redmen as got everybody kind of going one way, and then all of a sudden Atwood just sprung off the backside with the ball and had a huge lane. Kugler on the outside. We don't talk about him much in his blocking ability out there, but he is a great blocker out there as a wide receiver. He doesn't get called for holding very often.
Yeah, probably just jinxed him.
I got wood.
Oh,
I'll knock on it. But either way, he does a good job out there. Like I said, he doesn't get a lot of holding calls. He's had a few, but he does a good job keeping his hands in.
Power picks it up at the 15. He's up to the 20, 25, and he's going to get up to about the 26, maybe 27-yard line.
As he got hit quickly there by one Redmond. as he was trying to spin through. A second one came through and hit him, as I believe Kugler was the second one coming through, and I think Atwood might have been the first one. I'm not sure on the right number for the first one that hit him, but seen Kugler as he went over top, and he came over to the sideline, so I can kind of see who he was.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line is what Sacred Heart faces. They go one man to the right, one to the left. Himmer is under center. They send a man in motion right to left. There's a snap. Himmer runs the counter play with McCartney. McCartney is going to be up to the 30. He's going to fall across the 30 up to about the 31, maybe 32. And it looks like they're going to give him the 32.
Kind of a slow developing counterplay it was there, as McCartney kind of was able to stand up, read everything, and then start moving forward and get the ball handed to him. Just a slow developing counterplay, which if they could run that a little bit quicker, it would be a lot better, as there was an opening on that side. But with how slow it developed, Redmond were able to react to it.
6:40 and counting left to go in the first quarter. Smith Center leads 7-0 over Sacred Heart. 2nd down and 4 into the Knights after the gain of 6. Himmer under center. They're going to hand it off to McCartney again. He dives forward. He's going to pick up a couple just shy of that 35-yard line. We'll call it the 34. Going to bring up 3rd down once again for Sacred Heart with 6:15 and counting left to go in this first quarter. Smith Center leads 7-0. Again, 3rd down and let's call it 2. Quick updates for you. In the first quarter, Beloit leads Scott City 6-0. Hoisington leads Minneapolis 7-0. And Dodge City is up on Hayes 7-0. We face 3rd down and 2 here in Salina, as Sacred Heart faces that 3rd down and 2. 5:45 and counting left to go in this first quarter. There's a snap. They run a counter with McCartney again. He's going to be met in the backfield and then pushed back, this time by the Redmond defense.
Redmond defense ready for that one, as McCartney trying to go right through the middle, able to hit him right at the line of scrimmage and push him back. So Redmond defense holding strong right there on that 3rd down.
So actually pushing him back about a yard is Jake Sass, one of the first ones in there this time for the Redmond, along with about 5 other Redmond players, as Sass is actually playing that middle linebacker position right now. 5:14 and counting left to go in this fourth quarter. We call it 4th down and 3. Ball's at the 34-yard line. Himmer's going to be under center. I formation behind Himmer. As sends one man to the left, one to the right. Himmer looks to the sideline. And now a timeout called, as Sacred Heart trying to just draw Smith Center off sides. It didn't work, so they're calling a timeout to try to decide what they're going to do here. 4:55 left to go in the first quarter. Smith Center leads 7-0. You're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Redmen are going to be in Belleville next Friday night, so y'all come over to Belleville there and get your Dairy Queen. Just heard tonight that Dairy Queen in Norton is going to be closing down, so that's going to be like the closest Dairy Queen around. Anyway, so Lady Red, very busy this week. On Tuesday, traveling down the Great Bend. On Thursday, starting an MCL tournament down at Hill City, and then finishing up on Saturday. So good luck to Lady Red. I hope you make it all the way through the MCL and win that. Going to be some tough competition, especially with TMP and Phillipsburg. So we'll see what happens there. Go Lady Red. Go Redmen.
4:55 left to go in this first quarter. Smith Center leads 7-0 over the Sacred Heart Knights, as it is Kugler and Colby both dropping back to receive the punt from Campa. There's a Knight player running in late here. So Kugler and Colby again both back deep to receive. As I just happened to glance down, it looked like Ellsworth scored first in that Phillipsburg game as Montgomery came on the blitz. Campa able to get around a high punt, and as all the Redmond players quickly get out of the way, and Sacred Heart picks it up at the Redmond 45-yard line.
Kind of wondered if we wouldn't see that come from one of the Redmond, as the last time the Knights punted, it was a high snap, and he had a whole bunch of time to get it, resettle himself and everything. This time, Montgomery came in quick, made him have to punt it on kind of a run, and then he didn't get his leg behind it like he did the first time. So that was the right idea there by Coach Sass and the coaching crew over there to send Montgomery on that blitz.
Oh, it's been a couple times this year that Montgomery's been about this close to getting to that punt. So it's just a matter of time till he does get one this year. As the Redmen come out 1st and 10 from their own 45. They run it with Atwood off the left side. He's got an opening as he is able to get dragged down by McCartney. As McCartney, the touchdown-saving tackle, as Atwood is going to pick up the first down, though.
If Atwood could have got that one leg sprung free there was no one between him and the goal line. So, Atwood kind of looked up and just kind of shook his head a little bit on that one, but he had every right to, as that was a big play waiting to happen.
1st and 10 from the Knight 44-yard line. There's a snap. They hand it off to Hendrich. Hendrich right up the middle. He's going to dive forward for a gain of a couple. We'll bring up 2nd down for the Redmen. Ball's at the 42-yard line, so gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. 4 minutes and counting left to go in the first quarter. Smith Center leads 7-0 over Sacred Heart. Wishbone set behind Trent and Colby. There's a snap. They run it with Shoemaker off the right side. Shoemaker drags 2 Knight players down to the 35. A tough run there by Colton Shoemaker.
I think he's just going to get the first down. Kind of depends on
looks like just short of the first down, actually. Because the original line of scrimmage was 44, so looks like they're going to give him the 35. The line to get to 34. So to bring up 3rd down and 1. That answers your question, Robbie.
Yeah, how the first ref came out there and spotted the ball, he was right in line with the pylon, then moved back just a little bit. So there's where I was thinking that he was getting it at.
There's a snap. They hand this one off to Hendrich. Hendrich dives forward. He is going to pick up the first down. And let's see, they're going to spot him down at the 32. So 3:08 left to go in the first quarter. Smith Center leads 7-0 over Sacred Heart. Hurry up offense for the Redmen. They're already back on the ball. This time they hand it off to Atwood. Atwood cuts it to the outside, runs into his own man, cuts back at the 25-20. Atwood cuts back at the 15, and he's finally going to be drug out of bounds, and there's a flag on the play. This might be on the Sacred Heart Knights.
As looking out my other little window here, I could see it plain as day. They grabbed a hold of Atwood's face mask and kind of pulled him out of bounds with it. So that is going to be a face mask, I'm pretty sure, on the Knights. As, well, when Atwood went to stop, he stopped, put his head forward, and they went to grab for body, and his face mask was there instead of his body.
So this will be the 6th play of the drive, and it's going to be inside at the 10-yard line as they spot the ball down at the 7. So 1st and goal from the 7. The last time the Redmen were in the red zone, they had a 9-yard touchdown pass. Trenton Colby found Griffin Kugler cutting across the middle, a quick slant, and Kugler got the touchdown. This time, first play in the red zone. We'll see what happens with 2:53 left to go in the first quarter. There's a snap. They're going to hand this one off to Hendrich. Hendrich works his way through the pile, and he gets down to the 4-yard line. 2:45 and counting left to go in the first quarter. The Redmen lead it 7-0. They're knocking on the door again. 1st and goal from the 4. Looks like a quick update for you. 1:52 left to go in Phillipsburg. They have tied it up 7-7 with Ellsworth. Here we face 2nd and goal from the 4. They run it with Shoemaker off the left side, and he's going to be held up just short of the goal line.
Shoemaker hit the line of scrimmage there, and there was nothing for him. As he got to the line of scrimmage, and there was all of a sudden just a pile of Knights in front of him, trying to fight through, but not able to do so.
See, it looks like they're going to mark him down at the 2, so gain of 2. Going to bring up 3rd down and goal from the 2. As Kugler split out to the right. 2 minutes and counting left to go in the first quarter. Smith Center leads 7-0. They face 3rd and goal from the 2. There's a snap. They hand it off to Hendrich. Hendrich gets piled up. No call yet. And they're going to say that his knee must have touched down just short of the goal line to bring up 4th and goal.
I'd say from my angle, it looked like he got in, but I couldn't see that back leg, so I'm not sure on that one either.
I even had the binoculars out, and I couldn't tell. So they say 4th and goal from the half-yard line. The Redmen knocking on the door. There's a snap from Montgomery. They hand it off to Hendrich again. This time he dives forward, and he's going to push the pile into the end zone. A 1-yard run for Nate Hendrich, and the Redmen on the board with 1:25 left to go. It's now 13-0.
Wonder if that time they went back to the huddle and the running back said, hey, guys, we need a little bit of a push here, because that offensive line blew up that defensive line for the Knights, pushed them back and got that good hole for Hendrich to fly right into, and able to punch that into the end zone.
So Hendrich gets the touchdown with 1:25 left to play in this first quarter. Redmond now lead at 13-0. Kick by Lambert is up, and that one is good as well. So with 1:25 left to go in the first quarter, Smith Center leads 14-0. You're listening to Redmond football on 92.5 KQMA.
I'd like to thank our sponsors for helping out. If you'd like to contribute, you can send money to Smith Center Junior Senior High School, 300 Roger Marta Way, Smith Center, Kansas, 66967. We'll put your money to good use. The next week, Lady Red is going to be playing sub-state, I believe, at Trigo. And Redmond will be playing at home against El Saline. So coming out and root for the Redmen and the tough El Saline team. Should be a challenging match or game there. And Lady Red at Sub-State. Go Lady Red, go Redmen.
Welcome back to Salina. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson from Gene Bissell Field, the home of the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes, as the Redmond lead at 14-0 with 1:25 left to play in the first quarter. Some quick updates from around the area for you. Looks like St. Francis is up on Wichita County. That's a high-profile matchup. Both teams undefeated in that one. St. Francis up 16-0. Dodge City's up on Hayes 14-0. Hoisington's up on Minneapolis 14-0. Colby's up on Russell 7-0. Beloit's leading Scott City 14-0. That's kind of a shocker as the Trojans up on the Beavers right now, but that should be a slugfest all night. Phillipsburg has tied things up with Ellsworth 7-7. Plainville's up on La Crosse 7-0, and Clifton Clyde all over Stockton right now 28-0. Sergio Lambert getting set to kick off once again here for the Redmen. This one goes deep, and it does just roll out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. So see what Sacred Heart decides to do here.
As they're sitting there just kind of watching out of bounds. Once again, go back to last week with that as it just barely went out of bounds and Oakley got by with one. Tonight it was Sacred Heart getting by with one as the Redmond coming downfield quickly trying to get there to make sure if that ball does stop by any chance, they're right there to maybe pile it up and get some really short field position.
So they start at their own 35-yard line with 1:25 left to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10, again, from their own 35-yard line is what Sacred Heart faces. Their best starting field position by 9 yards here in the first quarter as they send Landon Power to the left. One man to the right. McCartney stands behind Hemmer as he's under center. They fake the pitch. Ball's up for grabs, and it's going to be picked up by Jake Sass as the freshman flying in there, saw the ball bouncing around, and he's going to come up with his fumble recovery.
Kind of looked like the Knights going for a little trickery, going for a reverse, and in the handoff, it got bobbled and shot up in the air.
Not so sure that's not Jace Freeman, the freshman that was the one trying to get that handoff that time.
I couldn't see the number.
I couldn't quite see the number, but I thought I saw an 8 as the first one. He's the only 80 anything on the roster, so we'll just go with that. As it is Redmond football with 1:19 left to go. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. The Sacred Heart 34-yard line as Colby back to pass. Kugler goes on an out route, and that one's going to be too far out of his reach.
Looked like as Kugler went to cut to go back to the outside, slipped a little bit, and that where that pass was going was right there to the sideline, and trying to do a little timing pattern going out there, and timing just wasn't there off that slip.
As Nolan Layman comes into the ball game, he'll be the tight end. As Harris-Snape goes to the sideline, 1:13 left to go in the first quarter. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 14-0. 2nd and 10 from the Sacred Heart 34-yard line after the fumble recovery by the Redmen. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. They run it with Atwood off the right side. He bounces off the first couple tacklers, and he's going to drag defenders up to the 26-yard line.
Big run there for Atwood as he got hit one time, bounced off of those guys, got downfield for probably another 4 or 5 yards off of that one. So big play for Atwood, starting to run a little bit harder as he's gotten a couple big ones.
3rd and 2 for the Redmen with 50 seconds of counting left to go in the first quarter. There's a snap. They hand it off to Hendrich. Hendrich gets piled up at the 25-yard line. Looks like they might mark him just short of that first down marker. About a yard short. It'll be 4th and 1.
Which I did see the ball pop out, but Hendrich able to grab a hold of it as he might have been already on the ground on that, but I've seen the loose ball kind of rolling there, and Hendricks right there in front of him just grabbed it and pulled it right back in.
Harris Snape comes back in at tight end. 23 seconds of counting left to go in this first quarter. Smith Center leads it 14-0 over Sacred Heart. It is Redmond football, 4th and 1 from the 25. There's the snap. They hand it off to Atwood off the left side. Atwood breaks the first tackle, picks up the first down up to the 20, inside the 20, and he's going to be spun down at about the, let's see where they mark him, looks like about the 16. Nonetheless, Atwood does pick up the first down. And the Redmen back in the red zone. They are going to mark him down at the 16-yard line, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmond lead the Sacred Heart Knights 14-0. So you're listening to Redmond football on KQMA.
Like I said, I hope you don't come out and see the Redmen in 2 weeks as Wesleyan comes to town. Wesleyan's looking pretty good this year. They've had a really hot stuff quarterback. Wesleyan kind of gave us fits last year when we played down there, but I'm sure the Redmen were going to show up really fine here at Smith Center. Of course, if you like what you're seeing, you can contribute to our efforts. Also, we coming up here with for the end of November will be Christmas programs and things like that. So we'll put those on the TV and on the internet. So I hope y'all enjoyed those. And come on out and see Redmen and Lady Red whenever you can. Lady Red working the way trying to make it to the state. Of course, we got to get through several other matches to make it there. But we'll see how it goes. Go Redmen, go Lady Red.
Salina, Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. At the end of the first quarter, Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 14-0. Robbie, what'd you take away from that first quarter?
Well, the Redmond offensive line doing a great job blowing up some big holes for these running backs, as unofficially I have Jaden Atwood already at 99 yards through that first quarter. As well, like I said, he had 2 big runs, one of 35 and one of 32, so that really jumps up there quickly for you when you can get runs like that. But that offensive line is just doing big things for this Redmond team here so far. The Knights doing what they need to, but Atwood just getting some big holes to go through.
As we get set for the second quarter, fumble on the play as Colby bounces back to pick it up, but nonetheless it was a fumble. Pushes the Redmen back. And Shoemaker fell on it, I should say, as it will be second down and very long now for the Redmen. Couglers split out to the right. The Redmen go left to right on your radio dial. They hand it off to Shoemaker off the right side. He cuts back middle. Shoemaker follows Timmons through the hole. He's going to fall down inside the 10-yard line, but what a great run by Colton Shoemaker. He followed the big left tackle through the hole, and Charlie did his job, made sure nobody touched him. If Colton would have tripped on the turf, he'd be dancing in the end zone right now.
The big thing on that one was that's exactly what you want your running back to do. Get behind your blocker and just let him lead the way. And Shoemaker behind Timmons, you're not going to see him very easily.
3rd and 2 as they hand it off to Atwood. Atwood dives forward up to the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5. So the Redmen pick up that 3rd down conversion. Yet another first down in this ball game. So that's their 7th rushing first down here in the first half. 11 minutes left to go into this first half, and Smith Center leads 14-0. 1st and goal from the 5. The Redmen go left to right on your radio dial. It is Kugler split out to the right. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. He awaits the snap from his All-State center, Joel Montgomery. There it is. They hand it off. No, he's going to pass. He looks for his man in the end zone. It's Nolan Layman, and Layman comes up with the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch by Nolan Layman, his first of his career at the varsity level, and a great play there by the Redmen. That's the first time we've seen that one this year.
Nice little play action there by the Redmen. Nolan Layman all alone in the back of the end zone. Nice pass there by Trenton Colby. Good touch on that to drop it right into Layman's chest. Layman coming up big with a big catch right there for the Redmen.
So Trenton Colby gets his 2nd passing touchdown of the ball game. And Sergio going to come out to kick the extra point.
Kick is up, and it is good. So Sergio with another point after attempt made.
So it makes it 21-0 at 10:41 left to go in the first half. Smith Center again leads 21-0. You're listening to Redmond football on KQMA.
And on www.usd237 and X-Tech Channel 165. I have working here right beside Robbie and Jesse. People who've watched other people's streams have stated that they really like our stream a lot better because of the commentary and the things that Jesse and Robbie do here, because it's just a bit more in-depth, a bit stronger, and a bit more consistent. So, good job, KK and KQMA announcers and color man. You're watching Redmen football on www.usd237 X-Tech Channel 165. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Welcome back to Salina. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. As of that drive, 8 plays, 34 yards, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. And Trenton Colby found a different receiver this time, as Nolan Layman, the big tight end, found him in the back of the end zone. And Layman getting, well, that's his first catch of the year even. And it's for a touchdown, as Kugler has about 98% of the catches. Atwood has one, and now Layman has one.
It was a good catch as well, right in the back of the end zone. Like I said, good play action, opened up Nolan Layman in the back of the end zone, wide open, just dropped that right into his numbers.
I thought that looked like big number 80 in the back.
I couldn't really see the number, but we're going to go with it as Nolan Layman in the back there.
Alan, was it Layman?
Yeah.
Yep, Alan says it was Nolan Layman, so we're good. So, 15-yard line as well is where Power picks up this ball, and he's going to be brought down at the 24. With 10:36 left to go. And it looks like a quick update for you, Robbie. Plainville up on lacrosse 14-0. Jared Casey back in action for the Plainville Cardinals tonight. He gets the 11-yard run, his first touchdown in a couple weeks because of that broken hand that he suffered against TMP before that Smith Center game.
Well, and I got another update for you here as Thunder Ridge up on Logan Palco. They're at homecoming 28-0.
28-0, all right. So Thunder Ridge rolling again tonight as Sacred Heart comes out. They're going to send twins left, one man to the right. That is Power and Lenners, or Buckner, I should say, to the left, as now we have a whistle. It is on Sacred Heart. So that'll push them back 5 yards. So instead of 1st and 10 from the 24, it's now 1st and 15 from the 19. Their first penalty of the ball game. Again, twins left, one man to the right. Hemmer will be under center. McCartney stands as the lone back. There's the snap. McCartney gets the handoff. This time he gets to the 20. Cuts back at the 25, and he's going to pick up a nice gain. And then a fumble on the play, but let's see. Are they going to say that he's down first?
He was down.
I thought that it looked like he was down, but good job by the Redmen to make sure that they were all over that ball, as there's a couple different Redmen coming up off the bottom of that pile. So it's going to bring up second down, and looks like second down and about 7. Nice carry there by McCartney off the left side. Up front for the Redmen right now, it's Rothschild along with Montgomery, Raby, and Spees. The linebackers looks like Kirchhoff along with Tassell and Jake Sass, the middle linebacker. As this time, Hemmer going to be in shotgun. McCartney stands to his right. Hemmer drops back. He pump fakes. He's going deep, and it is going to be caught. Power comes up with the catch, and what a great pitch and catch that time as Power right in between the defenders, and great touch by Mac Hemmer as he put that one right on to Power, and Power able to get up to the 50. So the first down of the ball game for the Sacred Heart Knights. Ball right now, deepest they've got it, it's right at the 50-yard line, as it looks like Moats goes to the right. They have twins right, twins left. Hemmer under center. McCartney stands behind him. They give it to McCartney. McCartney fights through, and Sass is going to throw him down at the 46-yard line.
Going back to that pass there, that was a great pass there by Hemmer to get that into Power, as there was 4 defenders around Power, put that over top of their heads and put it right into Powers bucket where you could easily grab it and get some yards afterwards.
Right in the old bread basket.
That's exactly where it landed.
Timmons and Atwood come back in on the defensive line. As a quick update, Norton all over TMP down at Lewis Field Stadium, 21-0. Second down and 6 for Sacred Heart. They're going to hand it off to McCartney. He's met in the backfield, and he's going to lose yards this time as Spees the first one to hit him.
Spees came through very quickly. He got hit with that little bit of a stiff arm, but that was enough to slow McCartney down and allow some other Redmen to get back there and drag him down.
Now they're going to give him the line of scrimmage, so we'll call it second down and 6. No gain on the play. 8:25 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads 21-0. 2 passing touchdowns for Trenton Colby, 1 to Griffin Kugler, 1 to Nolan Layman, and a rushing touchdown by Nate Hendrich. The scores so far for the Redmen. Trips to the right, one man to the left. Himmer in shotgun, pump fakes. He's under pressure by Spees. He rolls to his left. Spees has got a hold of him. Spees loses the handle on it, and then Himmer's going to throw it out of bounds as they could call intentional grounding on that. He was out of the pocket, but
there's the flag.
It did get back to the line of scrimmage. He's trying to say one of his players was in the area, but I don't think so.
All I seen was red helmets in
as
that area.
The coach is trying to make his case, but nonetheless, he was out of the pocket, but he didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage. So that is intentional grounding on Sacred Heart, and that'll push him back.
He done the right idea there.
The problem for Sacred Heart is it's a spot foul, and he was at his own 40-yard line, we'll call it.
That's going to be a huge loss for him. But, he was trying to do the right thing there and try to throw that ball out of there. The bad part is his throwing arm was kind of wrapped up there by Redmond, so he really couldn't get it the full momentum that he normally would. So he kind of just shoveled it and trying to get it up there. Kind of a dangerous throw as well because there was nothing but Redmond in that area.
And not only did they lose the 5 yards, it's also lost it down. So it's 4th down and very long as the ball is sitting at their own 35-yard line. Campa back to punt. 8 minutes left to go in this first half. Smith Center leads 21-0. Kugler calls for the fair catch and hauls it in at the 30. Let's see, they can give him the 34-yard line.
As that was another boomer as their punter, he can put his leg into it and get it up in the air and not allowing the Redmen to have much time at all when that comes down and they can catch it to make a move.
So the Redmen start at their own 34-yard line this time around. Their 4th drive of the ball game. They've scored on the first 3. This time they start at their own 34-yard line. 7:55 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads 21-0 over the Sacred Heart Knights. Colby breaks the huddle. He sends Kugler out to the right. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. The Redmen go left to right on your radio dials. They hand it off. No, Trenton Colby's going to keep it himself. He faked the handoff to Atwood. Colby's up his own sideline on the far side. He's at the 40. He puts on the speed at the 30. Colby pulls away at the 20. Touchdown, Trenton Colby. This time from 66 yards out as Trenton Colby showed off that all-state speed as he's a part of those relays. My goodness, he hit the corner and he was gone.
And, I'm not even going to bring bad news on this one. That was a clean play. There was good blocking up in front for Trenton Colby. He had his guys up there, and they done exactly right. They hit with one hand and released and let him just blow by him. You said it. He showed his all-state speed there and right down the sideline. He hit that corner, and there was nothing but green grass and a yellow end zone in front of him, and he made sure he got there.
My goodness. It looked like that one kid had the angle on him, but Trenton just started pulling away. He reached that arm out there, and nope, he was gone.
I thought I had the angle for a second there, but yeah, Trenton Colby, he has some wheels. He doesn't get to use them a lot being the quarterback, but he got to use it there.
As Lambert's kick is no good.
As that was a bad snap, as Trenton Colby had to pick that one up off the ground, as Lambert had to stop, let Colby get that reset, and then kick it, so he didn't get everything that he normally would into that kick.
So, one play, 66 yards, and the quarterback has now accounted for 3 touchdowns. This time a 66-yard run for Trenton Colby. 66 yards to the house, and it makes it 27-0. You're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Great job of the lineman there, and had those backs on the left poking those holes and getting Colby down there, and he turned on the afterburners and kicked it in. So great job of the Redmen. Hope you all enjoy what you're watching here. Got David Zass down here on the camera again. Great, he always does a great job. Very conscientious, very considerate, and just a darn fine fellow. Hope you all enjoy your Saturday. It's supposed to be warming up tomorrow, so maybe get out and do some garden work or just cut down some stuff. You're watching Redmen Football on www.usd237 and Next Tech Channel 165. I'm Alan Donovan. Hey, Shane, how you doing? and all my folks in Colorado. Spark up.
27-0, the Smith Center Redmond lead. The Sacred Heart Knights. Trenton Colby's now accounted for 3 of the 4 touchdowns. He's thrown 2. He ran for another one. That last one, 66 yards of the house. Trenton Colby hit the outside corner and up the sideline he went. Nobody from Sacred Heart was going to catch him on this night as the Knights pick it up at the 20, and they fall down at the 20.
Almost looked
It
like
was McCartney on the return that time.
Almost looked like he slipped a little bit as he went to pick that one up. His foot went one way and his knee just hit the ground because that was just a little squib kick there by Lambert. Hit just right behind the front line of the return team and just kept bouncing backwards as McCartney went to pick it up. Looked like I said, one foot stayed where it needed to and the other foot just kept sliding.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line is what Sacred Heart faces this time around as Landon Power split out to the left. They have a man out to the right. McCartney, the lone back, as Himmer's under center. There's a snap. They run a right counter with McCartney, and he's stacked up. Bounces it to the outside, though. Then he's going to be brought down for a loss of a couple.
The counter play here for the Sacred Heart Knights is a very, very slow developing counter as McCartney, instead of moving towards the line of scrimmage off the snap, he just stands up and lets his lineman kind of pull and get out there, and then he takes off. So just a slow developing play.
Loss of 2 on the play. So it looks like out there for the Redmen, it is Spees, Timmons, Atwood, and Montgomery on the line. Conrad along with Sass and Hendrich, the linebackers. Lambert, Colby, Shoemaker, and Kugler continue to be the secondary. This time, Sacred Heart comes out. Himmer, quick on the snap to McCartney. McCartney tries to get back to the line of scrimmage after a loss of 2 on first down. He may have got back to the line of scrimmage on second down.
Yeah, if he did, it was just going to be barely. It'll either be back to the line of scrimmage or a loss of 1 on the play.
Official timeout. Looks like we have unfortunately, one of the Sacred Heart Knights players is still on the turf. Nobody likes to see that. We hope everything is all right with that young man as we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout with 6:40 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads 27-0. You're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
People started complaining because the game was on the right path. 6:59. We have no stream.
Jesus.
Yeah, so everybody come out and say, hey, thank you, David Sass, for doing that camera work. Mark Nabel did it a couple of weeks ago with Smith Center, and I hope you'll enjoy that. And Brant Wilson, so together we are champions. I couldn't do it without them, and somebody to help and assist, but the monetary is nice too, so thank you.
To Sacred Heart, Graves Family Sports Complex, and Gene Bissell Field. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as, unfortunately for Sacred Heart, Robbie, that's their starting running back. Jared McCartney coming off the field. He was the slow man up. Also coming off the field is their quarterback, Mac Himmer, as they face 3rd down and 12 here for the Sacred Heart Knights. Ball at their own 18-yard line. They're going to send Landon Power to the left. One man to the right, I formation, and we think the backup quarterback is Jarrett McMillan. So they hand it off right up the middle this time. Nothing going there. There's a whole entire defensive line in on that one. It's going to bring up 4th down and 12. Looks like Gus Camp already dropping back to punt this ball away. 6:10 and counting left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads it 27-0. Kugler and Colby back deep to receive the punt. Again, 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads 27-0. High snap again. Campa hauls it down at the goal line. Boots this one away. It's going to be a short punt. And the Redmen pick it up. It's Jay Atwood. He picked it up at the 30. He's at the 15. 10-5. Dives for the end zone. No signal yet. And they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds at the 1.
That was a saving tackle. If Atwood tried to get everything, but he needed to lay out a
flags
little bit
everywhere.
more.
And a Sacred Heart player down. That's probably not good for
probably
Smith
not a
Center.
good, yeah. Probably
And
not a good
unfortunately, another Sacred Heart player down. We hope the best for that young man as well.
thing. You're right there. Didn't see what was happening as I was watching that one on the other side.
You're supposed to watch everything else, or I watch the ball, you watch everything else.
Well, it was one of those plays that everything else was up in front.
As it looks like we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout here with 5:44 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads at 27-0. You're listening to Redmond football on KQMA.
So, timeout right now for the injury. Hope young fellas is doing okay, not having to have anything bad happen to him. So, hope you're enjoying these football games and the volleyball games I've put on. We've had quite a few people watch the replays and things like that, and I put it on Next Tech Channel 165. I'd like to thank Next Tech for all the things they've done for me in the past with the allow me to use my phone to stream. We streamed from Oakley last week, so everything went really well there. And, not too good when they bring out the stretcher. That's not a good day. They need to get one of them gator things to tote people around, like they have in the big places. So, hope you all enjoy this. Come on out and see Redmen. Drive over to Belleville and go to Dairy Queen and get you some food over there, some ice cream or whatever. Then go to the ball game or after. So, of course, basketball season is going to start that first week in December. You don't think too much about it. I'd like to remind everybody, Joe Nixon's benefits tomorrow night. They're at the VFW, so come out and support Joe in her fight against cancer. And again, if you like to look into the future really far, there's Mitch Holtis is going to be having, let me know, they're going to be having the spring celebration for Home on the Range. That's going to be May 2nd and 3rd, so come on out with your golfing buddies and your pickleball buddies and your running buddies and enjoy some festivities there. Mitch always brings some talented Chief players with him. Last year, the Sausage came out, and that fella's pretty funny. So, and quite a football player too. So we're working here on getting this fella up and out. So they're kind of getting him ready there. Ambulance is over on the other side of the field.
To Salina, Graves Family Sports Complex, and Gene Bissell Field. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. As we hope that young man is all right, as they did bring the stretcher out. He did stand up, though, Robbie. May have just got his bell rung there, but they did bring the stretcher out. I believe, I might be wrong, but it looked like it might be Calvin Himmer, the 6'1", 210-pound sophomore. Mac Himmer was out there kind of looking over him, so I'm guessing a brother there making sure that he's all right. But nonetheless, he did stand up. They did go ahead and put him on the stretcher, going to take him out. May have got his bell rung there on that return.
As neither one of us seen exactly what happened, so not sure what happened on that one, as he was back away from the play, kind of in the middle of the field. So, like you said before we took the break, hopefully quick healing for that young man. Nothing too serious, where he can maybe come back even tonight and be on the field with his team.
I doubt that's going to happen.
Well, you never know.
When you get stretchered off, Robbie, you probably aren't coming back tonight.
Maybe not to play, but if he
at least
be back here on the sideline with his team.
Okay, that's fair. A quick update for you. In this district, Republic County 14, El Saline 8 in the second quarter of that one. So Republic County, they've had a tough go of it as well. They have not won a game yet, but they also play a very, very tough schedule, and right now they lead El Saline 14-8. Instead of first and goal from the one, the Redmen got that penalty. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line with 5:44 left to go in this first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead it 27-0. Quick update: Plainville is up on the cross, 21-0. Here comes the Redmond offense. Kugler split out to the right. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. Redmond go left to right on your radio dial. There is Hendrich. He bounces it outside, and he's going to be stacked up, as it looks like Buckner, the first one to hit him, as somebody's got one of those hand warmers, and that thing got popped out of there, and it looked like the football went flying, but it was just a hand warmer.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not the one who thought that was a football. I'm like, wait a second. What
I
is
think
that
everybody thought that was a football. But it was just Hendrich's hand warmer that he wears around his waist. So instead, it's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 35-yard line. There's the snap. They're going to hand this one off to Atwood off the left side. Atwood bounces at the outside, and he's going to cut back right at the first down marker, still on his feet, finally pushed out of bounds at the 20.
Atwood got hit right at the first down marker and then fought his way for another 5 yards. So tough job there by Atwood along the sideline. Wanted to stay inbounds and then continued to fight himself down for another 5 yards.
Looks like they're actually going to spot him down at the 21. So just outside the red zone here for the Redmen. Hurry up offense. Just under 5 minutes left to play in the first half. So center leads 27-0. They go off the right side with Shoemaker. Great kick out block by Atwood. Shoemaker at the 10, cuts back at the 5, spin move inside the 5, dives forward, and they're going to put him down at the 1.
As I wasn't sure where they're going to spot him on that one, as he was falling down, went into the end zone, but that knee looked like it was close to going down. The ref, perfect placement on that, as he was right there beside him pretty much, able to see that knee hit before the ball went across. So good job there by the ref on making sure that he was right there on that play.
So 1st and goal from the 1-yard line for the Redmen. 4:35 and counting left to go in this first quarter. Smith Center leads 27-0 as they're knocking on the door yet again here in the first half. As looks like Sergio Lambert in the ball game. Jake Sass at fullback. There's a snap. They hand it off to Lambert. Lambert off the left side, breaks the first tackle. He's going to get stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Great defensive effort that time by the Sacred Heart Knights as Lambert broke through the first tackle and then got stood up. As it is going to be Blaze Kaiser, the one that stood Lambert up right at the goal line to bring up 2nd down and goal from the 1.
Lambert got stood up and was trying to fight forward, but he was getting pushed sideways. Ended up going down as there was a Knight that got knocked down, and Lambert just tripped over top of him.
Again, Kugler out to the right. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. There's a snap. They hand it off to Lambert again off the left side. This time he's going to get in. Sergio Lambert from 1 yard out with 3:43 left to go in the first half. Smith Center scores again, this time to make it 33-0.
Tough run there by Lambert. Once again, he got hit at the line of scrimmage, but this time able to keep his feet and spin himself. And once he spun, he crossed right into that end zone. So good job there by Lambert to stay up on his feet, get himself into the end zone for another score for the Redmen here.
So Sergio gets his first rushing touchdown of the year. A 1 yard run with 3:43 left to go. A 5-play drive that went 35 yards. Now Lambert going to kick the extra point, and this one is, again, no good. So Lambert made the first 3, has missed the last 2 to make it 33-0. Smith Center on top of Sacred Heart. We'll take a time out here. We'll be back with more second quarter action as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
I'd like to thank some people who have contributed here. Matt and Alicia Brown, John and Ella Sparks, Gerald and Jana Buclair, 3rd Street Design, Catherine McCary, they're on 3rd Street, Al. Tim and Paul Poens, State Line Property, Sean Phelps, Kim and Burke Phelps, John Overmiller, Ken and Diane Depperschmidt, Dennis and Pam Mutchison, Sherilyn Long, Larry and Barbara Wilson, the Holtis boys, LD, Mike, Mitch, and Lyle, Donna Dunce, Mitch and Tammy Holtis, Neil and Karen Herndon, Mike Hance, Gary, and Brenda Freeling. Sorry to the folks out there who question why the game wasn't started. We don't start the game until right at game time because we get dinged if there's any music that comes on to the YouTube, and that's what it is.
First half, Smith Center leads 33-0 as they come to kick off after yet another score. As at 3:43 left to go here in the first half. Again, Smith Center leads 33-0. If you're just joining us, that is 33-0. Smith Center on top of Sacred Heart. Lambert got the last touchdown. This one is a 1 yard run. The kick was no good. 5 plays, 35 yards with 2 minutes and 1 second off the board. So Lambert getting set to kick off here as it is a power back deep to receive. Redmond will kick left to right on your radio dial. There is the kick. Booming kick this time for Lambert as they pick it up at the 15. That is McCartney up to the 25. Up the Redmond sideline to the, 35. Where are they going to mark him down at here? Looks like they're going to give him a nice spot here. Good return by McCartney as they're going to mark him down to the 30, right at the 38-yard line.
McCartney able to break a couple tags going down along the sideline there on the Redmond side of things, right in front of the Redmond bench, and getting down the sideline, doing a good job going down there. Like I said, broke a couple tackles right there along the sideline. Got a very good return there for this Sacred Heart Knights team.
So 1st and 10 for Sacred Heart, ball at their own 38-yard line, their best starting field position of this ball game. 3:36 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads 33-0. As Himmer hands it off to McCartney. McCartney's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 on the play, as Hendrich, the first one there to hit him.
Hendrich went low, not sure which Redmond went high, but Hendrich got the legs, and McCartney got wrapped up just enough, getting kind of level there, and then all of a sudden just blown up and taken straight to the ground. Good gang tackle there by the Redmen.
3:15 left to go in this first half. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 33-0. 2nd down and 9 after the gain of 1 for McCartney. I formation, Himmer under center. 1 man to the left, 1 to the right. Himmer awaits the snap. There it is. They hand it off to McCartney up the middle. He's going to be stacked up. He's going to lose a yard or 2 on the play. As a whole host of Redmond come off of that pile. Timmons is there. Atwood is there. Sass is there. Whole host of Redmond that time.
That was pretty much all the linemen, defensive line for the Redmen, and the linebackers there all at the same time, as there was nothing going on that play.
2:35 left to go in this first half. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 33-0. 3rd and 11 after the loss of 2 for Sacred Heart. They send a power to the left. They send 1 man to the right. I formation behind Himmer. They're going to hand it off. No, he's going to keep it himself. Bootleg around the left side as Himmer at the 40, up to the 45, and that's where he's going to be stuck. As a couple different Redmen there. Kugler is there along with also Andrew Wilkinson in on the tackle. And it's going to be 4th down and 2. So 4th down and a long 1, short 2 here for Sacred Heart. Ball at their own 46-yard line with 1:45 and counting left to go in the first half. Sacred Heart with the football. Smith Center leads 33-0. Simmer brings the play in. Himmer in shotgun, and now we have a timeout called by Sacred Heart. So with 1:29 left to go in the first half, Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 33-0. We'll take a timeout with them as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Got here pretty early this afternoon to check out the facilities. Really nice place here they have for the Kansas Wesleyan. Used to come down here and watch volleyball all the time. It's pretty exciting. Really nice university here. So if you don't get a chance, come on out and enjoy some coyote football if you're in Salina there. Hope you'll enjoy what you're watching here. I'm Alan Dunham here. David Sasp out here running the camera. So keeping things working. Together we are champions. Can't do anything. Yeah. The things we do without help and assistance. So thank you everyone who's a volunteer, like the volleyball girls who help out. So freshmen do a great job.
8-0. As we'll see what Sacred Heart decides to do here. It's 4th down and a long 1, short 2. As they send Moats to the right, Power to the left. Hemmer's going to stand in shotgun with McCartney to his right. Looks like they may try to go for it here. 4th and a long 1 from their own 46-yard line. Hemmer gets the snap, looks for Power, and it's going to be incomplete as the intended receiver was actually Buckner, as Buckner came across in the flat, covered up there by Tice McKenzie. Turnover on downs. Redmond football with 1:25 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads 33-0. 1st and 10 from the Knight 46-yard line.
As that play, not a bad play there for the Knights. They didn't have very far to go to get that first down. So just trying to draw something up a little bit there for a quick hitter, but unfortunately just the pass out in front and not able to track it down.
So 1st and 10 for the Redmen. Ball at the Knight 46-yard line with 1:25 left to go. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 33-0. Redmen come out. And now we have a whistle.
Maybe equipment issue there for one of the teams. I'm trying to look out there to see which players messing with equipment, but looks like they're ready to go again.
Cougars split out to the right. Again, Smith Center leads 33-0 with a minute 25 left to go. Colby gets the snap. Going to keep it himself around the right side this time. Breaks the first couple tackles, dives forward to the 40. Brings up second down and 4 with a minute 13 and counting left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 33-0 here in this district matchup. First week of districts for the Redmen. Again, they lead 33-0 as a Cougar split out to the right. Wishbone set behind Trenton Colby. Drops back to pass. Pump fake. Has some time. Throws it deep. Kugler's got the step. Kugler hauls it in at the 10. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 8-yard line. What a great catch by Griffin Kugler to get the Redmen in striking distance in the red zone yet again with 50 seconds left to play in the first half. It's going to be first and goal from the 8 as the Redmen lead Sacred Heart 33-0. Fifth time in the red zone for the Redmen in this ball game. Here in the first half. And it's going to be first and goal from the 8 for the Redmen. 50 seconds left to play as Nolan Layman brings the play in. Harrison Ape heads to the sideline. 33-0, Smith Center leads Sacred Heart. As the Redmen hurry to the line as they got 3 seconds to snap this ball. And they do get the snap off. They're going to hand it off to Lambert off the right side. Lambert gets up to the 5, and the pile's starting to move. And the Redmen going to get a good gain there by Lambert on first down. Looks like they're going to give him the 3-yard line. Bring up second and goal from the 3.
So Lambert hit that pile, just kept his feet moving, got himself turned backwards, so he had to start backpedaling. But his line came in to help him out and push the pile to get him some extra yards.
So second and goal from the 3. There's the snap. He's back to pass is Colby. Ball gets batted at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be incomplete with 16 seconds left.
Right idea there by the nice defensive tackle. Going to get to Colby, got his hands up, able to paul that one right back down to the back. Colby tried to make a play on it and make a reception, pass and reception to himself, but unfortunately for him, the ball hits in front of him, just in front with his fingertips. So right idea there by Colby, trying to make sure that at least if it went to Noah, Knight was there to catch it, but if he could, catch it himself.
So third down and goal for the Redmen. Ball at the 3-yard line. 16 seconds left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 33-0. Colby back to pass again. He looks for Layman in the end zone, and Nolan's going to pick up his second touchdown of the season. 2 catches on the year, all in this first half. 2 touchdowns for Nolan Layman, and the Redmen now lead 39-0.
Redmond in these last 2 games showing that they do have a passing attack here this year, and not only by one player, but multiple players as well. So doing a good job here. Another action play. Got Nolan Layman open in the back of the end zone once again. Had to put that one through a couple different defenders' hands to get there, but able to do so.
So Trenton Colby to Nolan Layman. Makes it 39-0 with 11 seconds left to go. Adson Day in to kick the extra point, and this one's no good as it goes off the upright. Makes it 39-0 with 11 seconds left to go in this first half. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the final 11 seconds or after this as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Good try there by Adson to get that ball up there and over. He's been working on that for a bit. Of course, that's about the only. He's a heck of a fine kid. The play's going to be coming up, I think, the second or third week in November. I'll have to get some details. Really funny. I went up there and watched the kids practice and things like that, and they're working it out. So it's going to be a lot of a good family fun, good time for everyone. Marcia was headed down to Salina yesterday. Today to pick up some costumes. So should be exciting and dynamic play there. So it's kind of a parody of Robin Hood. So come on out to watch the play there, I think, in the second week in November. So you're watching Redmen Football on WWWSC 237 and X Tech Channel 165.
$11 seconds left to play in this first half. 39-0. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart. Lambert getting set to kick off here. Lambert boots this one deep as McCartney tracks it down, fumbles it, and he's going to fall on it at the 20. Or no, that was Power this time. McCartney was on this side. 4 and 14 look a lot alike when they're that far away from me.
Well, they look a lot alike when they're scrunched up, laying on the ground as well, holding onto a ball. But either way,
That number 1 doesn't show up real well, apparently, for me.
either way, that was the right idea by Powers. It hit his shoulder pads, rolled down his stomach, and just fell to the ground. And he just dove on top of it as the Redmen were barreling down the field quickly at him. So, right idea, just get on top of the ball, keep the ball for yourself.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Sacred Heart from their own 20-yard line. Himmer will be under center. Time for one play as there's 8 seconds left to go. Himmer hands it off. McCartney up the middle, and he's going to be brought down right at the 21, so gain of 1. And that is going to do it for the first half. Smith Center leads 39-0. We'll take a timeout here. We'll be back to wrap up the first half right after this as you're listening to Redmond football on KQMA.
And on Next Tech Channel 165 and USD237.com. We'll be stopping the local and we'll continue with the stream. So thanks, David Sass. Thanks for everyone for their support. We really appreciate it. We wouldn't be here without you. We'd be home listening to the radio with Jesse and Robbie.
Mm-hmm. KR92, that's Belleville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he spells his name Jesy. That's why Trent got confused. Doesn't make me think, I don't know. I say it like in between every single play. Yeah. So how can I say it more?
It's better than J.
Yeah.
It's 14-12. Now it's 15-12. Oh, there's a point. 12 to 15. Got 15. Must have went to the Tad Phelps School of Broadcasting.
Yeah, they said that I didn't give the score enough, He's talking about the guy from Belleville. Mark. Because he said it's KR92, so that's got to be Belleville. Welcome back to Graves Family Sports Complex. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson at halftime. Smith Center leads 39-0 over Sacred Heart as the Redmond put 25 on the board in that second quarter. As it's been a big night for Trenton Colby. As well, he got the scoring started with a 9-yard pass to Griffin Kugler. It was 7:19 left to go in the first quarter, and a 6-play, 67-yard drive went 2 minutes and 29 seconds. The kick by Lambert was good to make it 7-0. Then with a minute 25 left to go in the first quarter, a 1-yard run by Nate Hendrich. Kick by Lambert was good. 9 plays, 55 yards, 3 minutes and 20 seconds made it 14-0. In the second quarter we go, 10:41 left to go in that second quarter. A 5-yard pass. Trenton Colby found Nolan Layman. The kick by Lambert was good. 8 plays, 34 yards, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. 21-0 your score. 7:42 left to go in the second quarter. This time Trenton Colby showed how fast he was as he hit the outside corner and was gone. 66 yards to the house. Trenton Colby with the rushing touchdown. 1 play, 66 yards in 13 seconds. The Redmond got, the extra point was no good that time, making it 27-0. 3:43 left to go in the second quarter. The Redmond on the board again. This time a 1-yard run by Sergio Lambert. His kick was no good, making it 5 plays, 35 yards, 2 minutes and 1 second. 33-0. 11 seconds left to go in that first half. The Redmond on the board again. This time a 3-yard pass. Trenton Colby found Nolan Layman yet again. 5 plays, 46 yards, a minute 14. Kick was no good, making it 39-0. Robbie, how'd that first half look?
Well, starting on the Redmond side of things, Trenton Colby, he is 4 of 6 tonight for 49 yards. Getting those yards, Griffin Kugler, he has 2 receptions for 41, and Nolan Layman, he also has 2 receptions for 8. On the rushing side of things, Colton Shoemaker, 6 rushes for 54 yards. Nate Hendrich, 8 rushes for 15 yards. Trenton Colby, 2 rushes for 72 yards. Sergio Lambert, he has 3 rushes for 6 yards. And leading the way of all rushers tonight, Jaden Atwood, 9 rushes for 116 yards for a team total of 28 attempts on 263 yards at halftime. On the night side of things, Hemmer, he is 1 of 2 for passing. Getting those yards is Power, and that's 20 yards. On the rushing side of things, Mac Hemmer, he has 1 rush for 10 yards. Jared McCartney, he has 13 rushes for 15 yards, and Landon Power has 2 rushes for 3 yards for a team total of 16 attempts and 28 yards.
All right. Again, Smith Center leads 39-0 here at halftime over the Sacred Heart Knights. First, we do want to mention we hope that we know that Jared McCartney, he's back out on the field. We hope the young man that had to be carted off the field, he was up and he was alert. We hope that young man is doing all right for Sacred Heart.
You know, I've kind of been paying attention across the way where the ambulance is, and I don't think it's ever left. I don't know if they brought in a second ambulance before the game, but I know the one that's been over there, it has never left the field. So that's at least good signs if that's the ambulance that he went to get looked at. Maybe, you know, everything's all right. But like I said, I'm not sure if there was a second one here or not. So you're right. Hopefully it's nothing too serious for him. And like I said earlier, maybe he can get back here and be on the sidelines with his teammates to finish out this game.
All right, we're going to take a time out here. We'll be back to take a look at what's going on around the area right after this, as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA. Okay. Well, yeah. Once we get to 40, we're only at 39. Right alongside Robbie Gibson. At halftime, Smith Center leads at 39-0 over Sacred Heart. Some quick updates for you from around the area. Some big games going on, a lot of games of interest. At halftime, Wheatland Grinnell's up on Quinter, 22-12. At halftime, Plainville's up on La Crosse, 21-0. Final, Clifton Clyde all over Stockton tonight, 50-0. At halftime, Lyons was up on Southwestern Heights, 12-0. Redmond graduate Andy Gwinnett, the head coach down at Lyons, and they snapped their 33-game losing streak last week. And, well, they got him. He's got him up at halftime, 12-0. Apparently, Gwinnett's getting the things turned around there at Lyons, as he was at Belleville for 1 year too. Remember that?
Yeah, he was there.
He was at Belleville for 1 year, but
that.
now he's down at Lyons, and trying to get things turned around there because they've been kind of down for a few years. So got that 33-game losing streak broke last week, trying to start a different kind of streak, get a winning streak going this week.
Well, and that's a tough task too, but able to do so if you get one on board, winning breeds winning. So get that one on there, and you can just kind of continue going from there.
I think he's wrestled for a couple of years, but nobody ever lasts long in wrestling.
All right, well, some other games going on. Norton up on TMP at halftime, 21-7. Osborne all over Wilson tonight, 60-6. South Barbara beat Otis Bison, 48-0. At halftime, Hoisington's up on Minneapolis, 34-0. Pitt Colgan was up on Yates Center, 45-0. At halftime, Salina has come back, and they now lead Republic County 15-14. At halftime, Beloit's up on Scott City, 14-6. Looked like just before halftime, St. Francis was up on Wichita County, 40-0. So the St. Francis Indians all over the Wichita County Indians tonight. Also at halftime, Phillipsburg up on Phillipsburg and Ellsworth tied at 7 apiece. And it looks like Bishop Miege was up on Blue Valley at halftime, 14-7. Also, quick update: this is 1 versus 2, Hanover and Axtell. Hanover up at halftime by a touchdown, 20-12. So that's where we're at in some of those other area scores. We're going to take a quick timeout. Oh, you got one for us, Robbie? You're tapping your fingers waiting for me to shut up, huh?
Oh, get in there sooner or later. Thunder Ridge is up on Logan Palco, 44-0 at halftime. Oh,
they missed leaving early for the dance by a point. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. So, all right. So, good night so far for homecoming for Thunder Ridge up there big. One more point and that game's over. They can go celebrate homecoming.
Or more importantly for the fans, they can go home and get warm.
There we go. We're going to take a quick time out here. We'll be back, talk a little college football. Actually, we're not even going to talk college football this week. We're going to talk the new districts that came out this week. Right after this, you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA. Okay, 2 minutes. Yeah. See, he's in Belleville, so yeah, he just spelled Jesse wrong. That's why Trent thought he was talking about me. Because that Jesse spells it Jesy. So, we good. He wasn't talking about me. Well, Jesse spells his name weird. It's Jesy. So his parents don't know how to spell. It's not his fault his parents gave him that weird name. So I was reading that comment. I was like, ha ha ha. Oh, what? Huh? What? Oh, that's a big difference, people. They could, he saw one post. Norton was up 21-7 at the half. He just saw another post. They're up 42-7 at the half. That's a bit of a difference. Has Jonathan tweeted anything out? I'll look. As I have Twitter up on my computer, I'm going to use my phone because it's faster. At half, Norton leads TMP 42-7. That's what Jonathan tweeted out. That's why I just went to Jonathan. I figure he's there. He'll know. And welcome back to Graves Family Sports Complex. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. At halftime, Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 39-0. As, again, we're here at halftime. We want to talk a little bit. We have just a few moments here. Talk about the new districts coming out for next season. Some districts that we're going to keep an eye on that will have Mid-Continent League teams in it and other area teams. Looks like in Class 3A, Russell, who has just been confirmed, they are joining the league next year. They will be in the same district as Colby, Goodland, southeast of Salina, Smoky Valley, and Scott City. So, not really too much changes there. They do add southeast of Salina and Smoky Valley to their district. In Class 2A, Ellis moves back up to Class 2A, so they're in a district with Cimarron. Also, another Mid-Continent League team, TMP. They'll be joined by Southwestern Heights, Lakin, and Syracuse. For District number 8, well, Phillipsburg and Norton, their district's the exact same teams, except for you take TMP out and put Beloit in. So I'm guessing they're like, hey, well, that's not very fair. Why are we getting Beloit? But nonetheless, it is Beloit, Ellsworth, Hoisington, Minneapolis, Norton, and Phillipsburg. In Class 1A, the district that we will be involved in, well, the same teams for the most part, except for Republic County, moved back up to 2A, so they're out of the district. We'll still have El Saline and Sacred Heart. But now you add Plainville and Oakley, and Ellenwood and Inman. So 28 teams in Class 1A. They went 4 districts, 7 teams in each district. Again, for Smith Center next year, El Saline, Ellenwood, Inman, Oakley, Plainville, and this team tonight, Sacred Heart. In 8-man Division 1, Rollins County, Hill City, Hoxie, who is also joining the MCL next year, Decatur Community, Stockton, and Trigo in that district. In 8-man Division 2, here's one you'll be very interested in, Robbie. St. John's Beloit, Lakeside, Thunder Ridge, Rock Hills, Osborne, Pike Valley, and Southern Cloud. It's going to be a tough district coming out of there with St. John's Beloit, Thunder Ridge, Rock Hills, and Osborne. Pike Valley is always pretty good. Southern Cloud and Lakeside, they're looking to get back up into the top of that district. And then District 8, Wheaton Grinnell, Logan Palco, Quinter, Wallace County, St. Francis, and Tri-Plains Brewster. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next year. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back with Robbie's Keys to Victory right after this. You're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA. 1 minute here. Ooh, Ellsworth's up 14-7 now. Most scored both touchdowns, Mark. No. Right. That's at halftime? There's no defense being played in that game at all. 42-42 at halftime in one of those games. It's not even an 8-man game. That's a 6A game. And welcome back, Robbie. Let's get your keys to victory here before the second half.
Well, we're going to start with the Redmond side of things here. They can't let up. They've been doing a good job. They've been on top of the Knights, just continue that ground game, pounding down their throats, and then mixing up some passing plays as well to make sure the Knights have to stay honest in what they're doing. And then that leads into my next one. Continue to change up the offense. Don't get complacent. I mean, yeah, you're up big right now, so I'm sure they're going to do a lot more running plays to keep the clock rolling. But every now and then, throw in a passing play, make that Knights defense have to stay honest to what they're doing. And then going over to the Knight side of things, change up the plays. They've stayed in that I formation for most of this game. Try to change up your formations a little bit on some of those passing plays. Yeah, their quarterback's been underneath a little bit of pressure, but they have had some guys open. So maybe try to spread it out a little bit, pass the ball around, and open some things up that way. And then don't allow the big play. They got to make sure that they're staying in contained and not when the Redmen try to bounce it outside, stay there, knock them down, and don't allow those big plays for the Redmond to bounce things out to the outside. That's what I have for both teams here.
All right, we await Sacred Heart to come out to kick off the second half as the Redmond will receive the second half kickoff. Trenton Colby and Griffin Kugler back deep to receive a said kick. And here comes a Sacred Heart. And it looks like we are getting set for the second half kickoff here. Kick is off, and it is going to be a squib kick as a Spees falls on it right at the 40-yard line. And the Redmen will start the second half right there at their own 40.
Not sure if they're trying for just an onside or just a squib kick to keep it away from the speed backs in the backfield. Kick it out of lineman, you got a better chance of bringing him down if he does try to take off within one of the up backs in the backfield. So not a bad game plan there for the Knights, trying to either maybe if it was trying to be an onside, just kick a little bit too hard, or trying to squib it out of there to make sure the up backs for the Redmen can't get a good return on it.
All right, Kugler's in at quarterback. Haresnape is now the center. Wilkinson split out to the right. Still the starting backfield, though, for the Redmen. Behind Kugler, low snap. Kugler hands it off to Atwood. Atwood off the left side. He bounces to the outside. He's at the 45-50. Atwood's at the 45-40. One man to beat. Cuts back at the 35-30. Atwood still on his feet as he's at the 10. 5. Atwood dives forward, and let's see. They're going to say he's just short of the end zone. So a huge run by Jaden Atwood, and he's going to go out at the 1.
Jaden Atwood done everything he could to get into the end zone on that one. Running instead of a straight line, he was running a weaved line, and just about had everybody beat there other than one guy, forced him out at the last second. I'm surprised Jade didn't get that arm reach completely out there and get that ball across the goal line.
I think the problem was it was in the outside arm, so he had to try to reach across his body to get it over.
Fair enough.
Nonetheless, first and goal from the 1 is Kugler in a quarterback. Haresnape the center. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off to Shoemaker. Shoemaker's going to score from 1 yard out, and the Redmen on the board, 45-0 with 11:36 left to go in this third quarter.
One big play for the Redmen, and then a quick hitter for the Redmen to get on the boards. As Atwood, he started off the second quarter quickly, or second half, they're quickly getting down the field on a 39-yard run, allowing Shoemaker to punch it in from 1 yard out, and that hole was
59.
Or 59. Yeah, well, when I look up at 3 and write down 3, everything gets messed up that way. But Shoemaker had a massive hole to slip through to get into that end zone.
So Atson Day out to kick the extra point. And it's up, and this time it is good. So Atson gets his second extra point of the year. He got one last week. This week he makes it 46-0. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart. We'll be right back with the rest of the third quarter right after this as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Great job by Adson there to put that ball through the uprights. I'd like to thank everybody who's contributed in the past and hope you all enjoy what you're watching. Enjoying a great job here by the Redmen here at Sacred Heart. I'd like to thank everybody who's watching out there. You can send me a howdy, Al. David Sass here running the camera. I'd like to appreciate him. Don't forget Joe Nixon's fundraiser tomorrow night there at the VFW. So come on out and enjoy some good times with friends and family and contribute to help out Joe and her family.
To Graves Family Sports Complex and Gene Bissell Field. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. A 59-yard run set up by Jaden Atwood, set up the 1 yard, a touchdown by Colton Shoemaker. Bang, bang play that time. Atwood got it to the outside. Unfortunately for him, he had that ball in the outside hand, so couldn't really reach it across the goal line. But Shoemaker was like, hey, I got a touchdown now.
That is very true. One of my keys to victory there for the Knights was don't give up the big play. Right out of the gate, 59 yards, almost put it to the house was Jaden Atwood. So giving him a big play, first play here in that second half.
As the Redmond kick it off, as that was, I believe, Freddie Lambert kicked that one off, as it is going to be McCartney with it. He's going to get a nice return on this one up to the 37-yard line. As we'll try to get all the players in here for you. as it looks like we are already going to go ahead and go with the running clock here, Robbie. Normally they wait until the fourth quarter, but looks like they have agreed to go ahead and start that running clock with Smith Center up by 40, technically 46 here in the third quarter, as the Knights start at the ball at their own 36-yard line. Himmer awaits the snap. The Knights go right to left on your radio dial. Quick pass to Buckner. Buckner's going to be drugged down by Pickney, just short of the first down marker, about 2 yards, so we'll call it 2nd down and 2.
Buckner doing everything he could to get those yards. Pickney giving him the spin cycle as they're spinning all the way around trying to get him brought down there. Buckner able to stay on his feet and get up another couple yards after he made that catch.
It is Owen Wagner, Nolan Layman, along with Nathan Raby, and also out there is Nathan Dowling on the defensive line, as we'll continue to try to pick up these players for you for the Redmen. 2nd and 2 for the Knights. They flip it to McCartney. McCartney comes off the left side. He's going to pick up the first down, and Morris, he's up to midfield before he's brought down by a whole host of Redmen, as Andrew Wilkinson, one of the first ones to hit him that time. Also in there, looks like Raby's coming off the pile, and Jake Sass also coming off the pile. Tice McKenzie there as well.
As that was a big play there for McCartney. Got the pitch, flipped it to the outside, and he had a nice little hole there. Picked up 6 to get that first down. Really kind of got there before anybody really hit him. So good play there for the Knights.
Trips right, one man to the left. Linebackers are Sass, McKenzie, and Tassell for the Redmen, as Himmer in shotgun, looks left, goes left, has his man, and it's Power, and he's going to overthrow Power. His Power is going to be hit by Jackson Pickney. Power now slow to get up, as Pickney also slow to get up as he's limping a little bit. For the Redmen, as Tice McKenzie goes to the sideline. Jacob Kirchhoff comes back into the ball game. So Pickney, Wilkinson, Bentley Montgomery, and let's see who's the other secondary player here for the Redmen. I believe Nathan Yeager in there as well. So Power comes to the sideline. Himmer runs the play back in. Looks like Isaiah Rodriguez comes split out to the left. Moats to the right. McCartney in the lone back as he gets the pitch, comes around the left side. Layman going to hit him first. Picks up about 5 on the play.
Layman able to jump over top of one defender, kind of been falling down there, able to wrap him up and just swing him around and bring him down. Good heads-up play there by Layman.
So it brings up 3rd down and 5 for the Sacred Heart Knights. Ball at the Redmond 45-yard line. 8:35 and counting left to go in this ball game. Again, we do have running clock here for the second half as the Redmond got up by that 40-point margin on that touchdown by Colton Shoemaker. They lead 46-0 with 8:22 and counting. So the running clock the rest of the ball game in this one. As Himmer sends a man in motion, they're going to hand it off to McCartney off the left side. He bounces to the outside. McCartney at the 40. Stiff arm on Wilkinson, and Wilkinson's going to drive him out of bounds at the 36.
Big run again by McCartney, able to get to the outside. Going down the sideline, had the one guy in Wilkinson to try to beat, gave him a little stiff arm, but able to do so, or able to get that stiff arm there, and he just bounced right into it, was Wilkinson.
So, going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Sacred Heart Knights. Ball at the Redmond 36-yard line, 7:45 and counting left to go in the ball game. Kirchhoff runs to the sideline. Tice McKenzie back in at linebacker. Himmer going to be under center. I formation behind him. One man split to the left, one to the right. McCartney dots the I as he is going to get the ball. He cuts it back to the left, and he's going to be hit and brought down at the 30, so gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
McCartney's starting to get things going here a little bit against some of the second stringer here for this Redmond defense. Well, it might be all second string now out there, as I'm looking out there and seeing different numbers. So
Coy Harrisnape comes into the ball game now. Also in is going to be Tarek Kelch in the secondary.
Use that surgery on his hand.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Sacred Heart Knights. Under 7 minutes and counting left to go in the 3rd quarter. By far the deepest that the Knights have driven into Redmond territory in this ball game. They are just going to hand it off again to the running back. As I'm not sure who that one is. I believe it might be plays Kaiser, as I saw a 0 on the back, so we'll catch his number when he gets up here. It was Kaiser. going to bring up 3rd down and 1 for the Sacred Heart Knights. That 3rd down conversion that they just picked up a few moments ago, the first 3rd down conversion of the ball game for the Knights. It's 3rd and 1. Himmer under center. He's going to quarterback, keep it right up the middle. He's going to pick up the 1st down and then some inside the 25.
Just a quick play there for the Knights, getting that quarterback sneak in there, getting the 1st down, keeping the chains moving. That's all they really need to keep working on here is continue to get those chains moving, and sooner or later you're going to run out of chain link there and just walking into the end zone. So the Knights doing exactly what they need to, run a little bit of time off the clock. In this situation, not a horrible thing. Kind of let some second stringers get some time in there, and, well, right now the Knights have all their starters in there trying to just get some points up on the board.
46-0, Smith Center leads Sacred Heart with 5:45 left to go in this 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the Redmond 23-yard line. Himmer in shotgun. Running back stands to his left. Actually, that may be Caden Carter's. Now we have a timeout. No, it is Blaze Kaiser. So, timeout called with 5:32 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Smith Center leads 46-0. Take a timeout with them as you're listening to Redmond football on KQMA.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Gary and Brenda Freeling, Mike Hintz, Neil and Karen Aaron, and Mitch and Tammy Holtis, Donna Duntz. The Holtis boys, Eldine, Mike, Mitch, and Lyle, Larry and Barbara Wilson, Sherilyn Long, Dennis and Pam Hutchison, Ken and Diane Depperschmidt, John Overmiller, Kim and Brooke Phelps, State Line Properties, Sean Phelps, Kathy McCary, 330 Street Design, Tim and Paul Poland, so far, far away, Gerald and Jenna Buclair, John and Ella Sparks, Matt and Alicia Brown, thank you.
5:32 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 46-0 here at Graves, the Family Sports Complex, and Jean at Bissell Field. The Redmen bring out their defense. It is a Pickney, Wilkeson, Yeager, and Bentley Montgomery, the secondary. Wagner, Dowling, Freddie Lambert, and Layman are the defensive line. Tassell, McKenzie, and Sass are the linebackers. Himmer back to pass, goes over the middle, incomplete as Sass got a nice hit on a Himmer. Or I guess it wasn't Himmer, it was a running back trying to block him up the middle, and Sass kind of put him on his back. Does it count as a pancake block if you're the defensive player?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, all right then. It was a good pancake block nonetheless. Unfortunately for him, he's on defense. Can we count it anyway? Because that was good.
We can count it.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Ball at the Redmond 23-yard line. Moats to the right. Power to the left. Offset I formation behind him as he's under center. They're going to hand it off to Kaiser. He's been in the backfield. This time Jake Sass buries Kaiser in the backfield. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and long as Sass played that one perfectly.
Sass coming through that line very quickly. Kaiser got the handoff, started to make his cut towards the hole, and Sass right there in his grill, drilling him and taking him straight to the ground. So quick play there by Sass. And once again, made the running back right where he needs to.
Loss of 2 on the play. Ball back at the Redmond 25-yard line. 4:20 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Smith Center leads it 46-0. Himmer in shotgun. Goes trips to the left, one man to the right, has a man standing to his right in shotgun. Himmer looks to his left. He's under pressure again. He's going to roll out. Layman dives for him, couldn't get the tackle. Himmer still on his feet up the sideline, stretches the ball out. He's going to be close to the 1st down. What a great run by Mac Himmer. A great effort by the quarterback that time. And let's see where they spot him down at. It looks like they are going to spot him down well short of the 1st down marker.
Himmer done everything he could to get to that 1st down marker. What looked like it was about to be a sack in the backfield. Read that his pocket was collapsing, stepped up, seen he had a nice gap, took off upfield, made a couple guys miss, got there and tried to extend the ball across. But unfortunately for him, he was almost out of bounds already.
4th down and 3 for Sacred Heart. Ball at the Redmond 16-yard line. Moats to the right, Twins to the left. That's Buckner and Power. Himmer under center with a man standing behind him. And going to have a false start on the Knights. Gus Campa, the right tackle, jumps quickly and will be just the 2nd penalty on the Knights in this ball game. I kind of stopped keeping track of that, though. But we haven't had very many flags to begin with. So.
I'll say there hasn't been too many flags in this game at all. So both teams doing a pretty good job of not getting flagged for anything, as it's been a fairly clean game by both teams.
It's at the bottom of my page. I forget it's down there. That's my reasoning. I'm sticking to it.
Works for me. I always forget those are down there too.
2:40 left to go in this third quarter. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 46-0. Fourth down and now 8 after the false start by the Knights offensive line. And now we have a whistle here. And Sacred Heart wants a timeout.
I think it's just a timeout.
So 2:25 left to go in the third quarter. Smith Center leads 46-0. And we'll take a timeout with them as you're listening to Redmond football on KQMA.
If you like what you're seeing and you'd like to help us out, you can send money to Smith Center Junior Senior High School, 300 Roger Marta Way, Smith Center, Kansas, 66967. Lady Red's going to be playing on Tuesday at Great Bend against Great Bend and our buddies from Phillipsburg. Then on Thursday, we'll be playing MCL, the first rounds of MCL down at Hill City, and that will be finishing up on Saturday. Go Lady Red. Redmond going to be at Hubbard Stadium in 2 weeks. Next week, they're going to be in Belleville taking the Republic Buffaloes. Go Redmond. Go Lady Red.
2:20 left to go in the third quarter. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 46-0. It's 4th down and 8 for the Knights. They have the ball at the Redmond 21-yard line. It was 4th and 3 from the 16, but a false start moved them back to 4th and 8. And the Redmond bring out Nolan Layman, Freddie Lambert, Nathan Raby, Nathan Dowling's out there. Also, looks like Yeager and Tassell, along with Sass and McKenzie, Pickney, Wilkinson, and Bentley Montgomery. As Hemmer's in shotgun, he looks left. He's feeling some pressure again, this time by Sass. He rolls to his left. Hemmer looking to pass. He pump fakes, throws it up, and it's going to be incomplete as Sass and Layman on the pursuit this time. Turnover on downs. Great job by that Redmond defense. The JV players, man, Robbie, they bent, but they did not break. That's what we always talk about the Redmond defense. They bend, but they don't break. This year they haven't hardly bent either. But this time the JV, they let Sacred Heart into the red zone. But, man, did they do a great job of holding the Sacred Heart out.
They really did. They did a nice job there. Well, like you said, they bent there, but they did not break. They held Sacred Heart to where they needed to. Sacred Heart had a good drive going there, and then just all of a sudden it just sputtered out there because the Redmond defense stepped up there and made that drive just stop.
So it looks like Pickney split out to the right, Yeager in at quarterback, Sass, Wilkinson, and Bentley Montgomery, the running backs. There's the snap. They hand it off to Sass. Sass right off the left side, and he's pulling 3 different Sacred Heart players for the first down. So first down run for Jake Sass on his first carry in the ball game.
Tough run there by Jake Sass. Got the handoff from that fullback spot, able just to power his way for the first down. Wasn't a whole lot of speed needed there as he just used his legs and kept the pile moving by himself.
So it looks like Owen Wagner also in there is going to be Brennick Spees on the offensive line. Let's see. We'll try to get these players in as quickly as possible. Tassell is the right tackle now. As they await the snap from Spees, does Yeager. There's the snap. They're going to hand this one off to Bentley Montgomery. Montgomery off the left side. He's going to be hit quickly and then put down by that Knight defense. Brings up second down with 33 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Smith Center leads 46-0. Try to get some of these other players in here for you. Dowling's on the left side of the line. Also, Tice McKenzie is the left tackle. Freddie Lambert is the tight end. Again, Yeager is the quarterback. 18 seconds of counting left to go in the third quarter. Smith Center leads 46-0. They're going to give Bentley Montgomery a 2-yard gain on that play. So second down and 8 with 9 seconds left. Last play of the third quarter. Yeager awaits the snap from Brennick Spees. There it is. They come off the right side, this time with Wilkinson. Wilkinson just tripped up. He saw an opening. Great defensive effort there by Sacred Heart, as it is on the tackle, I believe, Mason Richards on the tackle, and man, Wilkinson saw the green turf in front of him, Robbie, and he started to turn on the speed, and Richards just able to get out there and trip that foot up, and that's how the third quarter ends with Smith Center up 46-0. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of action right after this as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Really like to thank everyone who's helped us out here this year and all the other years. We've got some really fine equipment now, and hope you enjoy the quality. It's a lot. I put the Sacred Heart game on from last year on the Next Tech channel, and there's just a big difference between what we were putting out last year and what we're putting out this year with our high definition camera that people bought for me last year for my birthday present. Of course, I had a really fine birthday this year. Lady Red came out and did a fine job down there in Concordia and won that tournament. So, great job, Lady Red. Come on out, enjoy Lady Red. Drop on down to Hill City and Redmond in Belleville.
To Graves Family Sports Complex. Smith Center up 46-0 as we start the fourth quarter. Again, Yeager in a quarterback. This is the Redmen. Start the fourth quarter. They hand this one off to Wilkinson again off the right side. Wilkinson's at the 45, showing his speed at the 50, and he's going to be brought down inside Knight territory at about the 48-yard line. So another first down run for the Redmen, this time by Wilkinson.
Like you said, Wilkinson showing his speed, got to the side there, had a nice gap, able to take off downfield quickly for it and get some good yards there for the Redmen.
The Redmen bring out the offense yet again quickly here. This time they're going to hand it off to Sass. Sass right up the middle. He bulls his way forward. A nice pickup here on first down.
A little bit of speed going to the outside with Wilkinson, bring it right back in the middle of the field with power from Sass out of that fullback and able to do exactly that. Hits the first guy, bounces off, and continues to go. But there is a flag, I believe, on the field. I've seen the ref out there making some kind of signal.
Well, it's apparently on Sacred Heart because they continue to move the chains the other way for the Redmen.
Maybe a personal foul face mask is what I'm guessing.
So, 10:40 and counting left to go in this ball game. Again, we've had running clock since just the start of the third quarter as the Redmen got up by that 40-point margin, and they had agreed to go ahead and start the running clock as Bentley Montgomery gets the carry this time off the right side. He breaks out of the first tackle as Montgomery continues to move forward inside the 25 down to the 23.
Bentley Montgomery got hit with that first guy, quickly sidestepped and was right out of it and moving downfield.
So, Montgomery, nice pickup there on a first down. Looks like one of the Sacred Heart players down on the turf here at Gene Bissell Stadium, or Gene Bissell Field and Graves Family Sports Complex. We have 10 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter, I should say, and the Redmen lead at 46-0. We'll take a timeout here. We'll be back. More fourth quarter action right after this as you're listening to Redmen Football on KQMA.
Glad to see Jackson Pinckney back out there. He is in the play, so I hope you all can come out and enjoy the Robin Hood play that they're doing. It's a family fun comedy, so it should be a lot of fun. Fun for the whole family. Just a real good time. The kids are putting a lot of effort into it. Of course, we don't have a lot of time to do the practicing, so Marsha's doing her best to cram as much practice time whenever there's time available. So really enjoy the kids and all the things they're doing. Go Redmen, go Lady Red. We're working hard here to make good things happen for them all across the world. Amen. Thank you.
10 minutes left to go in this ball game. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 46-0 as the Redmen get set to get back here on offense. It'll be second down and 6. Ball at the 23-yard line. As the injured Knight this time was Carlos Torres. As he's being helped off the field. And over here to the sideline as here comes the Redmond offense again. It is Yeager and a quarterback, Pinckney, out wide to the right. Wilkinson, Montgomery, and Sass. That is Bentley Montgomery. The wishbone set behind Yeager. Freddie Lambert, the tight end on the left side. Redmond go right to left on your radio dial as they hand it off to Wilkinson. Wilkinson off the left side, and he's going to dive forward up to the 20. We'll bring up third down and a couple. Gain of 3 on the play that time. So third down and 3. Ball at the 20. 9.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Smith Center leads it 46-0 over the Sacred Heart Knights. Yeager sets him down with a Pickney to the right. Wishbone set behind Yeager. There's a snap. They hand this one off to Sass. Sass off the right side. Breaks the first couple tackles. Now he's dragging Knights across the first down marker. Inside the 15 down to about the 12.
That is your typical fullback right there. Nothing but power right through the middle. Gets hit and just keeps those feet to driving and drags defenders with him.
Looks like they spot him down right at the 12-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 12 for the Smith Center Redmen. So they can still pick up a first down without actually scoring here. With 8:43 and counting left to go, Smith Center leads it 46-0. Yeager awaits the snap. There it is. This time he hands it off to Bentley Montgomery. Montgomery off the left side. He's going to be stacked up, fumble on the play, but the Redmen able to cover it up. That's Nathan Dowling that covers it up right at the 12, so no gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 10 from the 12. Pickney split out to the right yet again. 8:15 and counting left to go in this ball game. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart 46-0. So again, it is Sass, Bentley Montgomery, and Andrew Wilkeson in the backfield. Yeager, the quarterback. Freddie Lambert, the tight end on the left side. 2nd and 10 from the 12. There's the snap. They hand this one off to Wilkeson off the right side. He bounces it all the way out to the outside. Wilkeson's got an opening, and he's going to score. Andrew Wilkeson from 12 yards out, and the Smith Center Redmen now lead 52-0 with 7:47 left to go in this ball game.
All I could see was the last bit of that play as Wilkeson just got to the outside edge and had this nice crease going into the end zone. Good running there by Wilkinson as he's got the speed to really break some big ones here going to the outside and able to do so there.
So Andrew Wilkeson gets in from 12 yards out as Atson Dagan gets set to kick the extra point here. That was a 9-play drive for the Redmen that went 79 yards. Day's kick is up, and this one is no good this time. So the score remains Smith Center 52, Sacred Heart 0, with 7:47 left to go in this ball game. We'll be back with the rest of the fourth quarter right after this as you're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Great job of the Redmond JV out there working to make things happen. Jake and Wilkinson were just making things good happen. Good team effort there on the JV side. So looking forward to these boys working their way up to the next year. Lady Red has got some matches coming up, so hopefully they'll be able to do the things that we're hoping they can do and make it down there to Dodge City. That's going to be the first weekend in November. We'll see. They're looking pretty good right now, so working hard, Lady Red. Don't forget Joe Nixon's party tomorrow, I think, or benefit tomorrow. I think it's at the VFW. I'm pretty sure, but ask around town. There's a lot of people know more than me. And, of course, the celebration, spring celebration for Home on the Range, that's going to be May 2nd and 3rd. Come out and see Mitch and all the players. Go Redmen.
7:47 left to play, and the Smith Center Redmen lead 52-0 as Freddie Lambert boots this one, and the Knights pick it up at the 15. And we have a flag. It's going to be false start on the Redmen, so that'll push them back and have to kick from about the 35, I believe, right? That's 5-yard penalty.
I think so. But while we have time here, there is a final from Thunder Ridge as it is 56-6. Thunder Ridge winning homecoming over Logan Palco.
It's always nice to win homecoming.
It really is a nice feeling when you win homecoming. Makes for the dance to be a whole lot more fun.
7:47 left to go in this ball game here at Gene Bissell Field, home of the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. 52-0. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart as the Knights have picked this one up at about the 23, and then Power going to kneel it down at the 25.
As Power got the ball off of bounds, looked up in front of him, took a couple steps, and realized there was about 5 white jerseys
and
running
no
at
blue
him,
in front of him.
and no blue in front of him to even try to put a block. So maybe the smart idea
That's a
is just
business.
hitting a knee.
That was a business decision right there. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to take a knee and not take this hit. That's a business decision, as they call it in the NFL.
That was probably a good decision. That might have hurt a little bit.
So the Redmond running players in and out here. It is Himmer in shotgun. Pump fakes. He's looking. He's going to go deep. He's got power deep. Power just misses it, as that was about a yard out of his reach, and it will be incomplete as Bentley Montgomery and Nathan Yeager both there on the coverage, but he just barely overthrew Power that time.
Power just needed his fingertips to be maybe 3 or 4 inches longer to just tip down back into him, but otherwise that was a good pass. That was put only where Power was going to be able to catch that on the outside shoulder next to the sideline. So tough pass to try to get out there, but good placement.
So Himmer going to be under center this time. Sends Power to the left. One man to the right. McCartney in the backfield. He gets the pitch to the left. Layman's trying to track him down. Nolan Layman tracks him down in the backfield. What a great defensive effort by Nolan Layman that time. He's had a huge game. 2 touchdown receptions, a couple big tackles.
Get out of my head because I was just thinking that myself as he's been all over the place here in this game. He has kind of stepped up here in this game and really showed that, hey, I may be young, but I'm willing to get in these games and do some slobber knocking. And I'm sure Coach Sass would go back and look at this film and go, you know what, he might deserve a little bit more playing time.
Well, if you look at the roster, at least what they have written down, he is the tallest player on the team at 6'3". He and Shelton Rothschild both listed as 6'3", and he's shown his height in the back of the end zone for 2 touchdowns and showed the length right there. Being able to bring McCartney down to the backfield as Himmer goes over the middle, and his receiver not even looking for it that time. It was Kaiser. Brings up 4th down for the Knights. Just under 5.5 minutes left to play in this ball game. Smith Center leads 52-0. As a quick update for you, Plainville up on La Crosse 33-6, and also Colby up on Russell 48-7. So a couple updates there for you as Campa going to get set to punt this ball away. Bentley Montgomery drops back to receive the punt for the Redmen. 5:05 and counting left to go, and the Redmen lead at 52-0. Another big stop for their JV defense. So this time they force a 3 and out, and it will be Redmond football at their own 44-yard line.
As well, that was kind of close as Bentley Montgomery was still hanging around there, and one of the Sacred Hearts players pushed him at the ball. Bentley just barely able to miss it as Sacred Heart fell on top of that thing and the D touched it. But like I said, he just barely missed that ball as he got pushed.
It's going to be one where the coach is on when they watch game film. Hey, Bentley, this next time, get even further away. Don't be anywhere near that ball next time.
You hear that call, turn and go the other way since you're the up back.
When you hear Peter, that means run the other direction. As the Redmen have the football, 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. Jackson Pickney split out to the right. Yeager still the quarterback. 4 minutes to go. As they hand this one off. And it's going to be on the carry. We don't have a 24 on the roster.
Sass. Young Sass.
Well, I don't have him on the roster, so blame the coaches.
What's his name, Dave? Cade.
Cade Sass on the carry. He's not on the roster. I apologize. As it is Bentley Montgomery this time on the carry. Gets it into Knight territory. Going to bring up 3rd down, however.
As they're doing that.
Yeah, okay. Apologize.
They're just doing typical Redmond drives here, just nickel and dime this thing towards the 1st down marker.
See, this is a team effort. Team effort on finding out who everybody is when they have to come in.
Thanks, David Satz, for filling in the gaps.
3rd down and short for the Redmen. Jaeger gets the high snap, corrals it, and this time goes off the right side, and that was Alex Wilkinson this time on the carry. So a little bit of everybody getting in on this one as the Redmen up 52-0 with 2:40 left to go. As Andrew comes back into the ballgame, Andrew Wilkinson. Pickney can be split out to the right. Wishbone set behind a Yeager. 2:20 left to go in this ball game. Smith Center leads it 52-0. Sass on the carry yet again. Another nice pickup. It's another night slow to get up here. Bring up second down for the Redmen. About second down and 5 with 1:52 left to go. 52-0 is our score. And a timeout called. So with 1:50 left to go in this ball game, Smith Center leads it 52-0 over Sacred Heart. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more from Gene Bissell Field right after this. You're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Dave, shoot the cheerleaders. I'd like to thank everybody who's come out and watched Redmen here. A big crowd from the Redmen squad came down here. Appreciate everything that we have going on at Smith Center there with the academics and clubs and athletics. So let's support our teams. Let's support our kids. Do everything we can. I'd like to say hello to everybody out there in Redmen world, all across the United States and the world. I'd like to thank David Sass for doing the camera work for me. Did a great job today. And Jesse and Robbie also, always the best in the West. You're watching Redmen Football on WWWUSD 237 and Next Tech Channel 165. I'm Alan Donovan. I don't go east, so I don't know.
You left to go in this ball game. Smith Center leads 52-0. Redmond offense back out there as they hand this one off. And it is going to be Bentley Montgomery. He breaks through the hole. He's dragging a couple nice players all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Big play by Bentley Montgomery. Got hit and drug him clear down to the 15 as, well, he drug him for probably most of that as he got hit just about at the line of scrimmage and able to drag the one clear down to the 15.
So 1st and 10, a ball at the 15-yard line. They hand this one off to Andrew Wilkinson. He breaks through the first tackle, but then he's stood up. It looks like they're going to give him a yard on the play. Brings up second down and 9. Ball at the 14-yard line. So Redmond in the red zone yet again here. Sass, Wilkinson, and Montgomery in the backfield. Pickney split out to the right. Yeager the quarterback. Freddie Lambert the tight end on the left side. This time they hand it off. No, Yeager keeps it himself around the right side. He follows his blockers, breaks the first tackle, and Yeager's going to fight forward into the 5-yard line all the way down to the 2. So a great run by the quarterback. Great keep that time by Nathan Yeager. 35 seconds left to play in the ballgame. Smith Center leads 52-0. As again, it is Pickney out to the right. Wishbone set behind Yeager. There's a snap. They hand it off to Sass. Sass dives forward. He's going to score from 2 yards out. Cade Sass, with 16 seconds left to play, makes it 58-0.
Nice run there by Cade Sass, able to get himself into the end zone. Big hit right up front off the line, getting piled up a little bit, but able to keep those feet driving. Walks right into the end zone over top.
So, Cade Sass gets his first touchdown of the season. Makes it 58-0 with 16 seconds left to go in this ball game.
Proud dad.
The Redmen are going to go for 2 here. Yeager awaits the snap. There's the snap, high snap. Yeager corrals it. He's looking to pass. He goes to the back of the end zone. He's got a man wide open, and it's Freddie Lambert. Lambert gets the 2-point conversion to make it 60-0. Smith Center leads Sacred Heart with 16 seconds left to play in this ball game. We'll take a timeout here, and we'll be back with the final 16 seconds right after this. You're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
Everybody gets to play tonight. It's great to see the whole team out there, just everybody doing their job and looking pretty darn good here. I'd like to thank everybody who's helped us in the past. I hope everyone can help us in the future. Got some plans and stuff like that, working on making some good things happen, especially when we go remote sites where you don't have really good internet. Have excellent internet here. I think it's Cox or Next Tech. I'd like to thank Next Tech for allowing me to use my phone last week at Oakley. That's the only way you would have been able to see it live on the YouTube. You're watching Redmen football on WWWUSD 237 and Next Tech Channel 165. We'll be in Great Bend on Tuesday. I'm hoping I can stream down there with the Lady Red taking on Great Bend and Phillipsburg.
16 seconds left to play. Smith Center leads 60-0 over Sacred Heart as Lambert, that's Freddie, boots this one deep. And McCartney going to fall on it at about the 20-yard line. 10 seconds left, and we'll see if Sacred Heart even attempts to run a play. I doubt that they do, which means Smith Center is going to win their first district game of this 2019 season in convincing fashion, 60-0. We'll take a timeout here. We'll be back to wrap things up from Gene Bissell Field and the home of the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes right after this. You're listening to Redmond Football on KQMA.
I'd like to thank David Sass again for running the camera. Couldn't do without him. Together we are champions. I'd like to thank Jesse and Robbie for all the work they do here, all his excellent commentary, letting us know what's going on and who's got what where. I'm Alan Donovan. We're going to be packing up here and headed back north. Hopefully the cops went home because there was a pile of them when we were coming down here. So you're watching Redman Football on WWWUSD 237 and Next Tech Channel 165. Shut her down, Dave.